Our shoot today at Universal Studios will serve as a perfect example of controlling outside ambient light and mixing it with strobe lighting. I use strobes to accomplish different things at different times when shooting outside. I may want to use them to add a highlight if there's a really flat day. I may want to fill a person's face when the light is really harsh. Rarely am I looking to get rid of the sunlight altogether. But regardless, I'm really looking for a way to enhance the situation, enhance my product or my person, and make them look better. In today's Slanted Lens lesson, we're going to teach you how to effectively balance strobes with daylight while you're chasing the setting sun. Hi, this is JP Morgan. We're here at Universal Studios backlot. We've been shooting this morning at Elm Street and now the afternoon at New York Street. Our overall ambient light is the key to the image, and we're going to add highlights to that. So I need to know how to create a dance between my strobes and the ambient light that's present. As you know, correct exposure is created by three things: shutter speed, aperture, and the ISO. First, set your camera on manual. I use manual most of the time because it gives me complete control of the exposure triangle. Second, I start with my ISO at 160. This may change as the sun goes down. Third, I set my aperture at f8. This technique is built around choosing an aperture and then taking a meter reading and deciding the correct exposure, shutter speed, that will work with that aperture. At f8, my exposure for the shutter speed is going to be a 1/30th of a second. And now I won't change the strobes or my aperture, they're going to remain constant. My strobes won't change, but the sun does change. So in order to chase that sun, we're going to change the shutter speed. Here's our first shot. It shows the ambient light only. It's using the very same settings that we talked about, f8 and a 1/30th of a second. You can see that there's sun on half of our truck. We're waiting for the time when that's going to disappear. And the way we know that is by using an app that we have on our iPhone. This is called Sunseeker. It's an iPhone app. It tells me that the sun will be behind the building at 5 o'clock, and that's when I want to start to shoot. The first strobe was set just outside of the doorway there on camera left. It's aimed at the guys as a rim. I set this at f8 in the shot, and it's really not very bright. Second light was set in the alley to brighten up the bricks and give a little bit of life and depth to the photograph. Our sun finally dropped, so our truck is completely in the shade, but it really doesn't have a lot of interest, so we added 2 strobe lights to brighten up the side of the truck. The second light is not only going to light the end of the truck, but it's also going to brighten the crate and our talent. I added another rim light on camera right from behind the truck. The last light I'm adding is way in the background on the camera right side. It's a little bit of light on the building just to give us some interest and depth on that side of the image. Now I'm watching the sun as it goes down, and as our ambient light drops a 1/3 of a stop, I lengthen the shutter speed by a 1/3 of a stop. It gives me more time to shoot, and I'll keep doing that until it's just too late and too dark, and we finally decide to call it a day. It's been a wonderful experience. We even had one of our strobes that my assistant knocked over. The strobe survived, but my assistant was fired. I hope you've learned how to more effectively shoot outside by controlling your strobes with the aperture and the ambient with your shutter speed. Play with that dance a little bit. You'll find it very interesting, the results that you can get. So just get out there and keep on clicking.